Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I am back with you guys doing another helping my subscribers video with their makeup. The reason I do these videos is because I get so many questions in the comments and messages on Instagram and messages and comments on pictures and all this stuff of all these questions. And I very rarely get to answer them because they either get lost in other comments and they're all usually the same kind of questions. So I've done 2 of these already. Go ahead and check those out for some just everyday makeup tips. So maybe it's something you're struggling with. You might find an answer to them in the videos. And this is my next one. So I do have an email address now where you guys can send your questions. Ideally, to make these videos a little bit more interesting and not just me sitting there and talking, I would like pictures and videos like in my previous videos. I said videos too much. Okay. Also as well, I just want to say thank you because this came in the post. This is the 100,000 subscriber play button, and the day this came, I reached 200,000 subscribers. So thank you so much. Let's do it. Let's answer some questions. Oh, before we get into that, so if you guys don't know who I am, my name is Robert. I'm a professional makeup artist. I've been doing it for a very long time and I've worked on different clients, models, men, women, everyone of every single kind. So I like to kind of share my knowledge with you guys through these videos, and you're my subscribers. You're the reason I'm here making videos in the first place. So if I can give back to you in any way, then I absolutely will. So we have a video here and the subject of the email is huge nose pores. I already relate. Okay, let's have a look.
Hello, Robert. I wanted to ask you, what can I do about these huge nose pores? I even have a pore filler on right now and makeup over it, but can you see them? Huge nose pores. I don't know why. I'm 40 years old almost, so I don't know. Thank you if you can help me out.
Cute. I love your accent. What part? Where's that? It's very calming and nice. So I totally get what you mean, and by the way, you look really good for nearly 40 years old. You look great. I have a pore like that just at the end of my nose, and I also have one on the side of my nose here. I don't find pore filling primers good for larger pores. I think it's great if you get like a little bit of trouble around your nose, on your cheeks, wherever you have it. A big pore like that needs to be filled in, and this is where it's difficult because the last thing you want to do is fill in your pore with product. Here's what I would suggest. I would get a eyeshadow primer. I love putting eyeshadow primer on the nose. And this is, I mean, obviously if you're not going to wear makeup, it's going to be obvious. But if you are going to wear foundation and you want that kind of smoothness over the top, then I would get an eyeshadow primer, one that's a little bit more creamy in texture, so not like a liquid one, like a cream one. MAC paint pots, for example. By the way, guys, I don't know drugstore eyeshadow primers that are similar to a MAC paint pot, so if you know any, please leave them below, and I will pin that comment so people can see it up the top. But something that's similar in that texture, depending on your budget, and this is going to sound really dumb, but it's what I do to my own face. You almost want to smooth it onto the nose as if you're filling in a crack in the wall. I know that sounds terrible, but that's what you want to do. And an eye primer is going to stick to the skin and it won't be as interrupted by facial oils as a primer would be, because it has that waxier texture to it. And then you want to be really careful when you're applying your foundation or concealer, whatever it is you put on your nose, about the method you're using. So we don't want to brush, we don't want to swipe, we want to tap, and ideally we'll tap using our finger. So say my large pore on the end of the nose here, I would do my foundation like normal. I'll leave my nose to last. I'll do the rest of my nose, and then in this area I'm just going to very gently tap, and I want to make sure I'm lifting my finger every single time. I don't want to wipe because then you're interrupting the texture underneath. Unfortunately, pores, although loads of products claim to shrink pores, they don't. And unfortunately, as we get older, elasticity, which kind of helps to tighten and untighten the pore, goes. So at some point, it's just going to be a lot. I also have one on my forehead up here, and I've just come to terms with it, but I know how to fill it in when I need to. I hope that helps. Do let me know. I'm going to reply to the emails that I used today, just so they can keep me updated. Yeah, thank you so much. Let's move on to the next one. We have another video, and this is powder products looking blotchy.
Hello, Robert, and everyone watching the video. So my question is about powder products like blusher, bronzer and contour looking blotchy on my skin. I moisturize and prep my skin before application, and I always tap the excess product off the brush. But whatever I do, it looks horrible. I also tried cream contour products, but they look muddy, so I think the problem is with me. And I want to learn the correct technique because I sometimes want to use bronzer to warm up my skin or contour to give some dimension, some structure to my face. So I'd be very happy if you could help me on this. And before finishing, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for existing in YouTube and making us happy. You're such a professional, honest, and you're such a lovely person. I really feel so happy every time I watch your videos. So have a nice day and thank you.
Oh, thank you. That got me teared up a little bit. Okay. So this is something that's really common. Let me just give me a second to... Sorry, guys. Here's my thing with YouTube is that I'm generally here to try and help everyone. I really want to help everyone. That's all I want to do with this channel. So when people say that I've helped them achieve something or do something, I get really weirdly emotional because it kind of just clarifies what I want to do. Anyway, okay. Oh, that's weird. Okay. So here's a few things that could help. Let's start with skin prep in terms of primers and moisturizer. I gave this tip before about almost using moisturizer as a face mask. Don't use it as a face mask, but apply a layer of moisturizer and don't rub it in. And then this will be a good test for the areas you apply products anywhere that goes blotchy. See how much of that moisture your skin sucks in. Because if it isn't sucking any of it in, then you may be over moisturizing your skin and your skin is rejecting that moisture and saying, I don't need any more today. I'm just going to leave this as a layer on top of your skin. And then that could be interfering with your makeup. And then you're putting a primer on top, which is then adding another layer of stuff that isn't quite in sync with your skin that day. And our skin can change day to day. I have so many different primers and moisturizers for how my skin's feeling that day. Sometimes I'm dry, sometimes I'm crusty, sometimes I'm oily. Consider that first before you do any makeup. Try it at night. You're taking off all your makeup. Just do a layer off your evening moisturizer and see what areas of your skin suck it up and what areas are just leaving it there. If it leaves it there, just wipe away. Sorry, my dog's just looking at herself in the mirror. It's so cute. Just wipe away the excess moisture with a tissue or something. Be gentle, of course. So that's one reason. Same again with your foundation. So one thing that we forget about foundation, because at the moment we live in a culture of people reviewing a product and then saying it's great, and then we go and buy that product. But a lot of the time we don't consider how that will work for us. For example, foundations are made for certain skin types. You can get foundations for oily skin, you can get foundations for drier skin. And unfortunately, you can't be as experimental with well, of course you can be experimental with foundations as you would skincare, if that makes sense. For example, I can't really use a foundation for dry skin unless I plan on being able to touch up my skin all day, then of course I can. But if I have a whole day ahead of me, I'm going to use a foundation that's made for oily skin because my skin is very oily. Whereas with skincare, you can have oily skin and use oils on your skin absolutely fine. But with foundation, you kind of want to control that overhydration or underhydration because we want our foundation to last. So take a look at your foundation, see what kind of skin type it's made for. Because then again, if it's not syncing with your skin, it could be sucking in too much moisture or rejecting moisture again. The next thing would be powder. Are you setting your foundation with a powder first and then trying the blusher on top? Obviously with a powder blush that works better because it has a smoother layer. I mean, I say don't do that on eyes, on eye makeup, but on the skin, it's not so bad. If you are doing that, is there dry skin that your powder base is gripping to? You know, consider all these textures and the textures underneath your blusher. Next, take a look at your brush. This is going to sound a weird one. And also take a look at the blush as well. So a lot of people don't clean their brushes enough. I'm one of them. I'm just like, it's my face, I'm clean, I'll do what I want. Something you have to bear in mind is that your brush can store oil. It can store moisture from your foundation. It can store moisture from somewhere, the air, maybe you left it in the bathroom when you had a shower, you know, all these other things. With oilier skins, your oil is going to get transferred onto the brush. So that could be interfering with the texture of a blush when it's on the brush and then going onto your skin. take a look at your powders. Are there any hard bits on your powder? You know, sometimes powder can get those random dark bits. That comes from oil or being wet. Have you ever accidentally wet an eyeshadow that you can't use wet and it just hardens on top? It's a similar thing. So take a look and then maybe consider cleaning a brush. This isn't to say that your brushes are, you know, really dirty. It could happen in one day. If I was to use a brush on my nose that I just cleaned and then go to use it again in a powder, you bet there's going to be oil in that brush because I'm so greasy there. So consider the brush you're using for blush. That's a tongue twister. Maybe get 2 or 3 so you don't have to clean them as often. But it's all about texture. So seeing, oh God, how long have I been talking about this? Seeing how it sits with the texture of your skin. And yeah. Okay, so next I have some pictures here and an email. So it says, "Hi Robert, I'm a huge fan of yours. I love watching your videos and really trust your opinions. Thank you. I have a question for you that I never see anyone talking about on YouTube or anywhere really. I naturally have 2 different color eyes." Okay, that's cool. "I have one brown eye, cool, and one green eye, and sometimes that can make it hard to decide what looks good on me. Could you give me any tips or suggestions? I'm sending you some pictures of my eyes with and without makeup so you can see what I have naturally, and I do not ever wear contacts." I do. "And what looks I've pulled off and what looks I don't feel like I pulled off. I tried though." Yeah, of course. "Oh, also, did I mention my hair is like bright red?" Okay, cool. So that kind of narrows my options, or does it? Here's the thing. I'm just going to say, first of all, you are incredibly lucky to have 2 amazing eye colours on one face. Perfect. So I've had a look at your pictures and the videos you attached as well. Luckily, your eyes aren't too far away from each other on the colour wheel. Colour wheel, you have like orange and yellow, and then they kind of filter down into brown and then green is here. So they're all kind of next to each other on the colour wheel, which is fine because when we want, it depends what you want to do with your eye makeup. So if you want your eye colour to stand out, we go across the colour wheel to the opposite side. So there you have with your 2 eye colours ranging from blue all the way round to those kind of like pinky red colours. So you can literally go for any of those. What I like to do with green and browny eyes, your brown eye looks more hazel, so you have that kind of yellow and green undertone in your eyes. So a redder tone will look really amazing because it brings out those tones in the eye colour. You're actually kind of lucky where you can go for quite a lot. So looking at that half of a colour wheel, there's so many options for you. You can mix all those together. You have a look like you sent me, which is a blue that looks absolutely incredible on you. In terms of hair colour, it has that red tone to it, so it's already bringing out the brightness in your eyes. Just match it up. The blue looks great with red. You're doing great. Everything looks really good. If you want an exact recommendation, stick to those colours. It will bring out each of the tones in both your eyes together as one harmoniously. Yeah, nice. Okay, so next up, we have some pictures again and an email. It says, "Hello, darling. Any suggestions for hooded eyes due to age? I find it difficult to pull off many looks as my hood is so prominent, and running makeup too close to my brows makes me look like a bad drag queen. You're a wonder to watch and a dear to help us, of course." And I can see your pictures here. Nice. Oh, I love your hair. That's what I want for me. Okay, so let's take a look at this last picture. I think this is really important with hooded eyes. If you watch the video just before this, you'll see a picture I did of this hooded eye. And it wasn't dramatically hooded, but I kind of did these lines on the eye, and it was how to kind of place the product and what direction we want it to go in. If I'm looking at your last picture you sent me here, the direction that you have on this picture is perfect. I do just want to say one thing, however. You have actually done a really, really, really nice shape. And I can see you don't mind experimenting with makeup and using different colors and different shapes. I really like what you've done in this picture because you've highlighted the inside corner of your eye. I wouldn't take the brown in the outside corner. I wouldn't take it so far in. I would stop maybe about here, because what we want to do with hooded eyes is give the impression of a lift. So that shape you've done in the outside corner is perfect for your eye shape and that hooded eye, and to pick it up. So I would almost cut that off. So almost like you want to do a shape here and really blend that out and make it really soft. We want to kind of lift the outside area by lifting product here. If we apply the product here and then take it the whole way across, we're then making that already heavy kind of hooded area heavier. So we want to give the impression that we are just sculpted on this outside corner. Everything else you've done, Perfect, absolutely perfect for your eye shape. This red look here, exactly what you've done here. Can you see that redness in the corner? Stick to that area, and again, don't take it so far across, but can you see how we almost get, by keeping that inside corner slightly brighter, we lose that heaviness off the hood. So you can still experiment with darker looks, maybe take some darker shadow under the eye as well. So keep doing what you're doing. Your blending is lovely. Just consider how you're structuring. That's the thing with hooded eyes. You almost want to lay out a structure for the shape.
Hi Robert, my name's Sarah, and I'm actually getting married in a few weeks. I'm moving my camera because I feel like you're probably not going to be able to hear me. I hope you can. I'm getting married in a few weeks, and my biggest concern is overdoing my makeup to where I look completely ridiculous in real life, but really good in pictures. So do you have any tips maybe for how to still look really nice in real life, but still come across well in pictures? Because I know a lot of things will get washed out with pictures. And also, if you've got any suggestions on my face shape or anything like that, that would be really helpful too. I know you get lots of questions, and mine's pretty generalized, but over the last few weeks, I've really been trying to decide how I want to do my makeup when I get married in 2 weeks, February 15th. Yay! So just let me know. And I love your videos. You are like a breath of fresh beauty air, and your sense of humor is just spot on. So keep up the great work, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. Bye.
Thank you again. I keep getting teary-eyed when people say that. Oh my god. Well, congratulations on getting married. That's amazing. Let me just say first up, you have such a lovely face. You have such a lovely eye shape, brow shape, everything like that. There are a few tips that you can take into getting married. I'm not about, not life advice, I meant makeup advice. So of course, we want you to look amazing on your wedding day. You want to look amazing in pictures. And it kind of contradicts each other, because the way we look in pictures, it looks so different to how we look in real life. So here's my tips for wedding makeup, how we can look great in pictures by using light. So flashes, camera flashes, the light around us, everything like that. Just want to say first up, your face shape, what you've done with your blusher or bronzer, whatever you're wearing in that video, is perfect. You have quite a unique face shape where your face is kind of slightly ovaled, but then you also have some nice definition to your face. You can see your cheekbones, you can see your jawline. So what you've done, I don't know if you know you've even done it, but you've kind of done your bronzer blusher like this, and then you've scooped it up at the side, on the inside corner. So that's a really, really nice shape for you, because we're carving out and then we're softening up as we go in. And that isn't really for everyone. It's quite a specific shape, but that's a really, really nice thing to do. So let's start with having like a great glowing look to the skin without looking cakey. First of all, let's start SPF. Look at your products you're using. If you have any high SPF in your products, don't use them. So SPF works by, a lot of people think it's light bouncing off the skin, but it absorbs light. And so if a camera flash goes off, instant washout, completely pale. That's your face, that's your ghost face in all your wedding pictures. Here, I'm gonna do something. So I'm gonna draw on my face, and I'm not gonna blend it in because I can't be bothered. So when we're getting married, or when we know someone's gonna take loads of pictures of you, please don't bake, first of all. No heavy excess powder, because again, it does the same thing. It reflects light. We've all seen those horrible pictures of celebrities where you can just see white. It can look grey and ashy sometimes. So on our wedding day, we're gonna do a primer that isn't too thick and heavy. We don't want a smoothing primer. We just want a normal, almost like moisturizer primer, just to help the foundation last longer. We're going to use whatever foundation you want to use. And then here's what's going to happen. We're going to take something lighter. This is the Prep and Prime highlighter. This is the shade Light Boost from MAC. You don't necessarily need this shade. And we're going to think about where light naturally bounces off our skin, and that's where we're going to highlight. However, I'm going to sculpt it out on my face for you. So we're going to take pictures and we're going to be smiling and looking forward. So we want light to bounce off our face and look radiant, not pale. So we're going to highlight this area here. Just like that. And then we're going to highlight this area here. So this is literally me drawing on my face. So don't use excessive product. But what that does basically is it's going to lighten this area and it's going to lighten that area. So when pictures are being taken, we have this really nice smoothed out area here, really nice smoothed out area here. And then the rest of the skin here is going to look deeper in comparison. Don't take it the whole way across. Just make it just very lightly blend this in first. And if you still feel you need a little bit more coverage, then blend that across. But when light's coming in, can you see what it's done to this side of my face already? It's slimmed down my nose first of all, but it's also going to make the whole area just look nice and smooth. Don't do the middle of your forehead. That can look like sweat. We're going to go above the arch of our eyebrow. And then that's what we're going to use to highlight. Don't do too much on the middle of your nose. Do the bridge of your nose. We're going to do the arch of your eyebrow. And I forgot to mention, this isn't like a glittery highlighter. This is like a lighter concealer. And then these are the areas we're going to highlight. Oh, and keep this bow. So these are the areas that are going to trick light when it comes to flashes and things like that. So we already have like quite a nice sculpted face. In terms of your actual highlighter, when all that is blended in, I really can't be bothered to blend this back in, so I'm not going to. Oh, I should really. When it comes to actually adding a liquid highlighter or a powder highlighter, for example, after you've done all this, look in the mirror. And this is where we get our natural glow. When you're walking down an aisle and you want everyone to be like, oh my gosh, you're so radiant. Look at your skin, and sit in front of a light or get someone to hold their camera flash, at you, and just move your head around. Where are the areas that catch light that you think look radiant and nice? For me, it's here. Like that looks healthy, it looks glowy, it looks, so that's where you're going to add an actual physical highlighter, like a powder highlight or a golden highlight. Your ears. If you're wearing your hair up, don't forget to put some foundation on your ears, because ears look extremely red, see, compared to the rest of the face when you're in pictures and things like that. Especially when you drink, you get that blood flow going, and your ears can get quite red as well. Chest, neck, I can't. Let me blend this in. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, so I was trying to blend that in, but I used so much product as an example. It looks really weird. That is it for this month. Anyway, I actually have so many emails. I might try and get these in every 2 weeks now as well. So yeah, thank you so much for your questions, guys. I really do appreciate you sending in your question. Even if I haven't featured it today, it will be featured because you guys are giving me content to create with, if that makes sense. So thank you so much. There may be a question. If you send me a question, I might direct it to a video where I think I've answered it quite well. And then you can watch that and then we can discuss again. So if you have any questions for any of my future videos, please don't send them to me on Instagram because I won't get around to reading it. I'll be completely honest with you. Please just email it to me, and then that way I can genuinely help you. So thank you so much for joining me, guys. Thank you so much for being a subscriber, for just being great people in general, really. You're all amazing. You're all so complimentary. Yeah, I really appreciate you. I just really want to thank you so much. Literally from the bottom of my heart, I couldn't be more thankful for all of you. So yes, thank you so much for joining me, guys, and I will see you very soon. Bye.